Owatonna High School junior Allison Ann has qualified for the state diving meet. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What went well at sections for you to get the scores you did, finish where you did to qualify for state?
I think hitting like my top 5 dives made me feel more confident in like where I was during the meet, so it made me dive better.
So with top 5 dives, is that the first segment of dives, or when you say top 5, what do you mean by that?
So we do 11 dives and they do 2 rounds of cuts. So after our first 5 dives, they cut like half the divers. Then after 3 more, they cut like 4 more.
Okay, and you said your first 5 were good, and that kind of built some confidence?
Yes.
Okay. As you get further into a competition, do you increase the complexity or point value kind of thing as well?
Usually my coach spreads out like the difficulty within the meets. So a couple of my hard dives are in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end.
All right. And do you like that? And what are some good things about that, or some challenging parts to having some of your harder dives in those first 5?
Well, I like having my harder dives during the first 5 because I work on them more, so they find them easier for me.
Okay. You want to make that cut. You got to make the cut. You got to have the good scores. So you got to get some tough dives in there early, right?
Yeah.
What harder dives? What are some of the skills that are in some of your more difficult dives, or maybe some of the challenging dives that are fun? Tell me a little bit about what you put into your dives.
Well, some of like the more difficult ones were like my double or my full twisting 1.5. It's like when you're supposed to come out of it, and like mostly like if my board work is fine, then the dive is good.
And that was the case at sections?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, this would be the first time qualifying for state diving, is that correct?
Second.
It's the second. Okay, so were you there last year?
Yeah.
So as a sophomore you went?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and tell me about that experience then of diving at state then as a sophomore. Just what did you enjoy about it? What was tricky or nerve-wracking about it?
Well, sophomore year I mainly just like focused on like having fun. Okay. So like maybe this year I'll do better because I like have experience with it.
Being in that facility at the U of M, is there some nerves involved being there at that facility and with the best divers across Minnesota? How did the butterflies work for you?
It was definitely really nerve-wracking because everyone was really good there and the facility is like really nice and big.
Okay. Does that make a big difference, the big facility part of things, having a different look to things than maybe in some of the smaller places you go? Did that affect you at all?
It doesn't really affect you. It's just like the feeling of the difficult, like if it's like different board, because like boards have different feelings.
Do you get a chance to practice on that board though before the dives that count?
Not really. We just have our warm-up.
Oh, just the warm-up.
Yeah.
But you say you did have fun last year.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy most about that time?
I just enjoyed it. My friend Burke went up with me and we just like messed around.
Okay, all right. Now, as you've competed at state gymnastics and then at state diving last season, do you think the nerves will come a little more under control and with that experience having already been taken care of?
I think my nerves, I'll still be nervous because I'm nervous for bigger meets still, but I feel like they'll be better.
Okay. So even here at sections, when everything's on the line, there's a certain amount of nervousness for you then too?
Yeah, because my sophomore year, like I didn't really have anything like that mattered going into sections, but then like the next year that I went to state last year, like kind of puts more pressure on you too.
What do you do to kind of calm yourself down or handle nerves, be it diving or gymnastics or anything else?
Try not to focus on the dives as much, and I just like listen to music, trying to distract myself.
Okay. Goals. What are you hoping to do at state this year?
My goal is just to like make finals.
What do you need to do to make finals? Where do you have to place?
Like top 16.
Top 16, which would be, is that about half then?
Yeah.
They take half the field to the next round. And how many dives do you get in that first round then, the preliminary round?
8,
so
if you make it.
You get 8 dives? And
yes.
Then, okay. All right, and just do all the same dives you have been doing, or do you add anything now?
The same dives that I have been doing.
Okay. And is there a certain key then for you to execute properly on those dives?
Just practicing my dives now.
Okay, just practice.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's some similarities then between this and gymnastics, right?
Yeah, twisting comes more natural for me and like flipping, I guess.
Okay. What got you started in diving?
My sister. So when my sister joined, I kind of just followed in her footsteps.
And how far back does that go then?
I joined my 7th grade year.
Okay. But you've been doing gymnastics, I imagine, before that?
Yeah.
Okay, so some of those skills that you have are things you've been working on for many years?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, have some family, teammates, and things like that, I imagine, that'll be cheering you on this week at the U?
Yeah, my mom and dad are coming up, and my friend Burke is coming up again with me.
And when do you dive? Wait, do you know the schedule offhand, Allie?
I dive Thursday at 6. Friday is swimming, and finals are Saturday.
All right, so you would need to make the cut on Thursday, and then Friday is an off day, and then Saturday are finals.
Yeah.
All right, well, I wish you well. Hope you have a fun time and a good time and achieve those goals. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Allie Ann Owatonna Jr. qualifying for the state diving meet.